Hello, a very good morning to you. President Volodymyr Zelensky is calling for the world to help with the dam collapse in southern Ukraine, which has triggered a humanitarian and ecological disaster. Ukraine and Russia are accusing each other of blowing up the dam in Kherson, which is occupied by Russian troops. Well, the first deaths from the flooding were announced last night by a local mayor who's been exiled since Russia seized the region. In one area of the city, there are suggestions the water level has risen above 5 metres. It's still unclear if Russia is to blame for the destruction, but Kiev has called the breach a war crime. In his nightly address, President Zelensky called on the world for help.
The situation in the occupied part of the Kherson region is absolutely catastrophic. The occupiers simply abandon people in these terrible conditions, without rescue, without water, just on roofs of houses in flooded communities. And this is another deliberate crime of Russia. After the terrorist state has caused a catastrophe, it also maximises the damage from it. What is needed now is a clear and swift response from the world to what is happening.
Well, Sky's special correspondent Alex Crawford joins me now from Kherson. And Alex, just how big a disaster is this for Ukraine? Describe to us what you've seen there in Kherson.
I think it's an enormous disaster. It's a humanitarian and environmental catastrophe and crisis. Even if there is any dispute about who did this, it is a huge potential war crime basically playing out in real time in front of us. These people have lived under bombing, shelling, artillery, and they still are. It's a constant drum roll in the background throughout the day. And now they've got flooding, massive flooding over a huge area, which is going to turn not just environmental, agricultural land into, they say, deserts. It's leaving sewage, debris, oil. There are floating landmines here as well, creating all sorts of hazards. And of course, there is the immediate humanitarian and animal cost, rescuing humans who are stranded and rescuing animals who are dying. Let me just bring in Niels, who's a professional firefighter from Germany, who's one of the very, very few foreigners who are here helping in anything. Because what struck me is that it's mostly Ukrainians and not very many large numbers of Ukrainians, large numbers of, or smaller numbers of Ukrainian volunteers, some professionals, military and police, but it's quite a small scale rescue effort in comparison to the huge catastrophe. What are you planning to do or hoping to do today?
So I'm hoping that we can rescue many people. I don't know the exact numbers. At the moment we are waiting for coordinations where we have to go next. So we already rescued a couple of people. We also rescued animals, and now we're waiting for the coordination. And
as a professional firefighter, I mean, how experienced are you in dealing with these sort of conditions, and how would you describe them?
I mean, like this is like catastrophe. What is like a huge size, it's a huge scale, yeah. Actually. So this scale I never had before.
Yeah. So you've never seen anything quite this big. And what about, have you been able to work out the conditions that you're going to have to be plunging yourself in for, in terms of, because they're talking about disease, possibly an outbreak of cholera. There's lots of sewage, you can see it floating around.
This is actually what comes afterwards. At the moment we just have the evacuation.
Okay, and how are you going to do that? How are you going to try? You've brought equipment and...
We have that boat, we have personnel, we have a bit of equipment. It's not enough, we need more boats, like I see it. We need also more life jackets and all that equipment for water rescuing. And I actually don't know how many people are out there, so we just wait.
Okay, well, good luck today, Niels, and thanks for talking to us. Good luck. As you can see, there are very, very few foreign relief workers and emergency aid workers who are here on the ground, right at the epicenter, if you like, of the flooding. And I think there's a growing need and concern that the world just isn't listening and helping right now.